from Navicare. Money, do you want to describe what Navicare is about?
Sure. Navicare is a patient navigation center for children and youth for ages 25 and under that is free bilingual here in New Brunswick. So we would love for people, families to reach out and call us if their youth are struggling with physical disabilities, intellectual impairments, challenges, and we will get you the resources that you're looking for. So thank you for having us.
So many people can actually call you and you can talk to them on the phone to navigate the system.
Yes,
That's the key piece kind of it.
Sure, yeah, just a 1-800 number, they'll get connected to the patient navigator and we'll follow up in a very quick time frame to address their personalized help needs.
Now, Navicare's been working with us now for a couple of years. I don't know how long you've been around, but
Yes,
let's say 2 years. So since you started. And we've had some really great feedback from residents in the community who use this service. It's a really excellent service. So we're going to move along and we're going to chat with a few people. This is Peter and Rob. Peter is our volunteer for the neighborhood.
Yes.
Peter goes from place to place, don't you, Peter?
Yes, we do.
He does, and whatever needs to be done gets done. Rob, do you want to describe a little bit about what happens at St. Luke's, one of our other faith partners?
So at St. Luke's Church on Mondays and Thursdays we have a lunch program from 10 until 12 o'clock. When people arrive, there's cereal and hot coffee and tea waiting for folks when they come through the door. We serve our lunch at 12 o'clock. While they're there, there's a clothing room that's opened. A couple times a month, a guy comes in on Monday and cuts hair, and we've got a lady that comes in once a month and does foot care. So people who have diabetic issues or other issues with their feet, they can get them looked at while they're there. We also have a breakfast program on Tuesday mornings. Doors open at 7. Breakfast is served just before 8. It runs till 9:30. We close just in time for folks to leave our church and get to the food bank or the river cross for their missions. Everything's free of charge, and the folks in the community come in and take advantage of that. We provide about 9,000 meals a year. So, yeah, it keeps us busy.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
So these are some of our partners from FACE. Guys, do you want to just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what FACE is and how it supports families?
I'm Stephanie Hallward. I'm in Family and Child Education, and we are an in-home service. We provide support to children birth to 8 in-home service, and family and parent and child. We do various programs, and so we have different parenting programs and different parent-child programs as well. And it's a self-referral. Parents can refer themselves and get the support to help with their children's development.
So I think one of the things we were chatting with Nancy about upstairs is the fact that a lot of the families that come in that we work with feel kind of alone, that they're the only ones dealing with this situation. Do you see a lot of that in your work, that the fact that they're working with you, sometimes there's solace in finding out you're not alone?
Oh, there is a lot of sense of isolation, but we find in particular the parenting groups, suddenly they're awoken to the fact that other people are experiencing the same things, and there is some solace in that, and they support each other amazingly well in the different groups.
It's really amazing. For me, I always take it back to what we're really doing is community development. It's teaching people to care for each other. I mean, that's what it is. And so we've been partners with FACE for many years, and we can't say enough good things about it. They're so good to our community.
Well, and thank you for your
Yes,
program.
well, that's what we're for.
Yeah. That's
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you. Yeah.
This is another example of how the Social Innovation Fund that's being fostered through Living SJ is impacting low-income families and people in our neighborhoods. So this project actually was developed a number of years ago with the St. John Women's Empowerment Network originally. And it used to be delivered once a year called Learn and Go. They've changed the name a little bit, Working for Change now. Folks, do you want to introduce yourself and describe a little bit about the program?
Hi, my name is Tara Parley, and I'm one of the facilitators for the Working for Change program. So what it is, it's a 10-week program based in the priority neighborhoods, and it's for participants who want to make small changes in their neighborhoods. So the first 4 weeks are workshops, and then we have 6 weeks of working in groups, and they work together in their groups and try to pick a topic, and what they do is try to move that forward and make a change in their neighborhood. So it's a great program. It's for both men and women. And we have a program running right now. We have 20 participants, and so we're running for a year. Our next program will be on April the 23rd. So we're taking recruits right now for that.
Great. Now, an example of one of the Working for Change projects exists right in our lobby. A couple of years ago, residents in the neighborhood talked about access to food. Food insecurity is a big issue in our neighborhood. And what they said was, we can only go to the food bank once a month. Sometimes we have emergencies, and we'd like to have some place where we could access some food. So a group of residents in the neighborhood got together and said, well, let's create a food pantry. And I'm going to show you that in a couple seconds, but it's really exceptional. It's just a couple of cabinets with food in it for people, and we serve probably 75 to 100 people get fed from that each month. We have 2 local business partners that keep it filled. So when we're low on food, they come in and they replenish it. And it's been running now here for 2 years. It's really quite an exceptional thing for an neighborhood. We've been able to sustain it very well. So that's the type of project that has an impact in a neighborhood. And it was done by 3 local residents who championed this, and they said, we can have an impact. We can change people's lives in a neighborhood, and they did just that. And that's what these projects are about. It's not just projects for the sake of doing projects. If that's what it was, we wouldn't have any part of it. This is about creating change in neighborhoods, having impact and changing people's lives. So it's a really exceptional program, and kudos to the St. John Women's Empowerment.
So that project area is so popular that now one of the groups, current groups, are looking to have that in the South End.
Yeah, I mean, it's exceptional.
Yeah, so it's just kind of, they're going to come tomorrow and actually learn from what they've done here, and then make it, take it to another neighborhood. So, hopefully we'll have one in every neighborhood.
And that's how it starts, right? We talk about all the time, creating momentum. That's what it is. It's about spurring interest. It's about getting people energized, because that's all it takes. Once you create momentum, it just starts happening. It's inertia, so that's these programs seed development in our neighborhood. These are some partners from the New C, the North End Wellness Center, and Joanne Barry and Evan, what's your last name? Kirsten. So Evan actually is a mental health and addictions counselor, and Joanne leads the show. So I'm going to let them describe kind of what they're doing, but I will say beforehand, the New C came to this neighborhood because of the desire of residents. There was a recognized need in this neighborhood for increased health services that were accessible to residents, and the New C and Horizon Health Network really stepped up in a big way. So it's taken us a couple of years to really get this going, and you guys are almost out of space, really. But anyway, so Joanne, do you want to...
Yeah. So I'm a community health nurse, and I'm the team lead at the North End Wellness Center, and I have a fabulous team that I support and are helping the residents in the North End. And basically we opened, like Barry said, because of the need in the community. The residents said we really need access in our community for primary care and primary health care. So not only do we have have nurse practitioners on site, but we also have a team that will support those other needs that residents need support in, such as mental health, diabetes education, just to name a few. So yeah, I lead the team, but the team supports me in my work, and we're there Monday to Friday, and we're always evaluating what we do. And one of the key components of what we do also is that we have a team member who's a community connector, and that also was a position that was identified in our neighborhood as they need, residents need someone that they could come and talk to and connect them to resources, maybe not knowing how to fill out paperwork, attending a doctor's appointment, knowing where resources are. So she is an important part of our team also. So we're always looking to improve, maybe add, but as Gary said, we've kind of now at a situation, we moved into the former One Change building thinking that, this is going to be temporary, almost 3 years in now, and we need a permanent home. So we are continuing to look at growth and a new space. And I don't know, Evan, if you want to talk about kind of what services we can provide.
Yeah, certainly. So on Wednesdays, I'm able to connect with the North End Wellness Center, and we're able to connect on an individual basis to do assessments right in the North End Wellness Center, so I don't have to go elsewhere in the community. And then I'm able to connect and provide evidence-based best practices to deal with both addictions and mental health, or concurrently, both occurring at the same time. And again, we're really looking to continue to grow with the community. Hopefully, maybe in the future, we put some groups in, more time, more than just 1 day a week. Again, looking to meet the need where it's at and grow with the community as it continues to grow. Thanks.
Thank you guys very much. We can't say enough about our community police officers and the program itself. I think it's a great example of how we create real change and momentum in our neighborhoods. By embedding an officer in our local neighborhoods, what we've seen that has really transpired is the fact that our residents have developed a deep level of trust with our officers. And what used to be fear, perhaps, has turned into a welcomeness, and I certainly know a great example of this is yesterday the kids at Centennial got to dress up as their favorite person and go to school. But one of our kids decided they were going to dress like our community police officer, Constable Corey Jameson, so he went as a police officer. And I'm going to introduce him right now. This is Constable Corey Jameson. He's our community police officer. And as well, here we have David Hartley Brown, Sergeant David Hartley Brown, I should say, who coordinates all of our community policing efforts here in St. John. And over here you have with you
one of our members from the community, Bill Crow.
Bill Crow. There you go. Welcome, Bill. So guys, do you want to describe kind of a little bit about what our community policing efforts are, or crime response?
Sure. Basically, in community policing, our crime reduction team is a unit within the St. John Police Force, and our real primary focus is really based on community engagement, and that's at every level, whether it be with corporate, business sector, private sector, our residents, our community agencies, and other stakeholders. We're trying to build those collaborations and partnerships to look at overall some social development, and I kind of like to refer to it more like social development through crime prevention through social development. That's where we're trying to focus a little bit more on societal issues and doing our part, because obviously we recognize the St. John Police Force can't do it alone. We know that, and some of the core root cause of issues of crime are based on some societal issues and some challenges that people simply are facing and just need some support and some direction to deal with. So we hope to be part of that solution as well. But community policing has been going strong and developing over the last 10 years, and we're very, very pleased with where we're at right now, and we have a lot of things we're looking forward to do in each of our priority neighborhoods.
So, Sergeant, do you think, I guess what I'm wondering is, the community police officers that we've had over the years, do you think that their understanding of community issues has changed because they have been in community?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think every officer, even those officers that are being trained at Atlantic Police Academy, at RCMP Depot, I think community policing needs to be a huge aspect about building relationships and rapport with community. I think teaching theory, understanding justice and criminal law is one aspect, but really when you're building and working with people, you have to build that trust, and that's what's main things for policing, is that people don't trust us. How can we be a big part of solution and growth? It's true. So it's so beneficial. Like every officer should have some experience in community policing and should be using that even when they're not in our unit. They should be using those same techniques and abilities, assets, and skills while they're working in the community.
Great. And this is our constable, Constable Corey Jameson. Constable Jameson, we are the best name.
Well, I'm biased, but yes. We are. It's been a wonderful experience for me. Over here, 20 years of police service. 3/4 of my career I spent in the North End as a patrol officer. So an opportunity for me to become a community officer here in the North End, it was just a natural fit for me. And I'll be honest, I feel blessed to come to work here every day. It's opportunities like this through community policing that I get to meet residents such as Bill Crow here, who we formed a friendship. He has stepped up to the plate numerous times, like a community watch for us as police officers. So my office door is open when my police car is out front. It's amazing how many people come to my door to share what's going on in their personal lives, what's going on in the community. The communication that now we have with the residents is next step.
So how long have you guys been delivering the DARE program?
We've been at it almost coming up to 20 years. I personally have been involved in DARE for 15, 16 years. And it's been a great opportunity for us to get embedded in the schools. It's really our vehicle to do that. And we form friendships with these little guys and girls that are life-lasting. 15, 16 years of DARE work. I still, when I'm off duty, I go to the mall for a walk on the street. I have young adults coming up to me, giving me a hug and asking if I remember them from the DARE program. So it's been fantastic.
I can't say enough. We love our community police officers, all of them, and we really fought hard to retain this program in our neighborhood, and we were very successful. What I would like to see is other services, other grassroots leaders, other first responders, emulating what our police force is doing and actually coming to the neighborhoods and embedding themselves as part of our services. We think it is the best approach to having and we salute you for that. So thanks so much, Eric.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you.
The BB Kids program has been delivered. We were the first host site here at the Newton Cole Community Center. I actually remember when Miss Evie came to meet with me when she first was discussing the development of BB Kids. I was with Vibrant Communities at the time, and we had a great conversation. Well, we were the first site, and this program, you can't say enough good things about it. And I'm going to let you describe this program. Maybe you can introduce yourself and then talk about it.
Hi, I'm Carrie, and I am one of the center leaders at BB Kids, specifically in the North End. So I visit the Newton Cole Center on Saturdays. Our program is targeted at families and children in grades 1 to 5. It's a free program, and we work on social and emotional skills with children and their parents, which essentially means
and we all try to be the best me we can be. So Chanel's here from the Coverdale program. Coverdale's working with us now. I know they've been doing some great work with us around self-esteem building. Chanel, do you want to describe some of the work you're doing at Coverdale?
Sure. At Coverdale Center for Women, we have three main aspects. We have an emergency homeless shelter for women, 18 plus. We have a drop-in center where we offer all of our programs, and we have a halfway house for women who have experienced incarceration. And we also actually have Oak Ridge Home, which is a transitional apartment for women who just need a hand getting from step 1 to step 3, intermediate stage. And in programs, we do all kinds of things from boundaries to communication skills. We have a transition to work program, improve self-esteem, healthy relationships, all kinds of great life skills.
We've had such positive feedback from the work here. All the people that participated in the program, they want to hear all the time. They just love Coverdale. So thank you so much for being here today. All that you do.
Thank you for having us.
One of the really exciting things that has happened through funding through the Social Innovation Fund with Living SJ is the introduction of the PCAP program, the Parent-Child Assistance Program. And these are some of the ladies in that program. It's really cutting edge. It has the potential of being something that we can learn from as a community to create real long-term sustainable change for families. So I'm going to turn it over to these ladies. Maybe just introduce yourselves and describe it.
I'm Kate Robar. I'm one of the case managers with the PCAP program. This is Kate Flood. She's one of the research coordinators. And I'm the other case manager. Holly Steele. The PCAP program is a 3-year program for mothers who use drugs or alcohol during their pregnancy. And Holly and I are working with them to try to attain some goals that they set themselves. So whether that is education, housing, custody of their children, being able to get to rehab. We're just working with them on their level and what they want to work with.
Housing Alternatives has been such a huge partner for One Change for many years. Kit Hickey, who's the executive director there, serves as our treasurer for our board of directors, but also was one of the founding members of One Change. So with us today is Ashley and Ben, both from Housing Alternatives, and they're going to describe a little bit about what Housing Alternatives does in our community.
Yeah, so Housing Alternatives is a property developer and manager. Has been active in St. John for over 30 years. Now our focus today of being at this event is with our supportive housing programs. So we have had, have operated 2 supportive housing programs for the past 6 years, the Organized Departure Program and the Housing for St. John program. So the purpose of those programs is to work with various acuity levels, people with some barriers to housing such as mental illness, substance abuse. We link them with affordable housing that's geared to their income. Vast majority of the time would be subsidized apartments through New Brunswick Housing. And then we work with the community, with agencies that already exist with supports to broker those supports for those individuals, to wrap around those supports to make sure that they can be as successful with their tenancy as possible. And with one of those programs that we work with a higher risk population, more chronically homeless, we would provide some of those supports ourselves with partnerships with Horizon Health, with mental health services. We have a mental health nurse that does in-home follow-up, and we also work very closely with Ridgewood Addiction Services to make sure they would have those supports in place as well. We also contract out with St. John Learning Exchange, a life skills management program that would also provide in-home support around those basic soft skills, cooking, cleaning, hygiene, pet care, all that kind of thing. So our goal is to house homeless individuals, but also to support them as best we can to have them live healthy in the community and to feel part of the community. And Ashley can talk a bit about also other things, other projects that Housing Alternatives is involved in.
So one other thing that Housing Alternatives is involved in is the Unified St. John Housing Cooperative, and that is housing, affordable housing within the city that provides both market and subsidized housing. And one thing that Housing Alternatives also tries to do is partner with different other community agencies to work to help to enhance their programs to provide housing. So partnerships with Teen Resource Center, First Steps Housing, Second Stage. We work together with other community agencies to try to provide affordable housing in the city.
Thank you guys very much. Here we have some of our partners from the Seniors Resource Center. Seniors Resource Center, a wonderful group that works with us here at the center and delivers programs. I don't know who wants to speak. Do you want to talk a little bit about Linda? Do you want to talk a little bit about your programs?
I'm Linda Nickerson. I'm the Executive Director of the Seniors Resource Center. And here we have a lot of free brochures. There is the guides for seniors for government services, one for caregivers, one for active aging. Then we also have the Seniors Directory, which is divided into categories, and it's really great because people can quickly find for whatever they want, for the phone number, for whatever it is their problem. And this is from the Red Cross, and it's to help you to prepare for doing a will. Then we also have the Seniors Directory, which is divided into categories, and it's really great because people can quickly find
This is Mickey. Mickey works with River Cross Mission. And Mickey, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the work that you do here? Great friends of ours and have been for a long time. Well, maybe talk about your lunch program.
Yeah, we have a lunch program on Tuesdays and Fridays. It goes from 9:30 till about 1. We serve anywhere from 60 to 80 people a week. We have prayer, coffee, lunch.
And it's really interesting because the food bank is also up at River Cross Mission. We work really hand in glove. Mickey's got anything that he's not using, he's giving it to us. So it's pretty cool actually for our neighborhood. And River Cross, I think, such big partners of ours. It was River Cross One Change, and